Hello, all you wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. Today is going to be a little bit of reminiscing and excitement because they announced a they announced a new dot hack game, which is something that I did not see coming. Um, I personally did not follow the whole countdown thing that CyberConnect 2 was having. Like, everyone knew there was going to be a game announced on the 16th of February. They just didn't know what. I personally didn't know that announcement till about a day later, so after the announcement. So I didn't find out about this until yesterday. Um, but yeah, when it happened, it kind of brought this feeling in me that I haven't got from as far as excitement for a video game in a long time. And I'll show you guys the trailer later in the video, but I wanted to do some quick reminiscing just of all the dot hack stuff that I have. Not gonna stay on anything too long, but I actually have the original series on DVD. Dot hack sign. We got Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, which is if I keep it in picture, and then the final volume, Volume 6. Um, I actually got this in a Boxichan a really long time ago. So yeah, one of my biggest surprises from Boxichan. But yeah, I was so happy to get these, and they're all just the individual volumes of disc. Takes up a lot of shelf space, but you get all the artwork and stuff, and it's not the most exciting anime series, but I would say it's kind of one of the more intriguing ones. Um, then I personally bought this later on down the road. Dot Hack Legend of the Twilight. Um, this is a complete series of that. Just I think it's only like 3 disc. Yeah, no, 2 disc. Okay, simple. This series was more of a side thing. I don't think any truly big story elements happened in this side series, though don't quote me on that because I'm not an expert at the lore of Dot Hack. And then um, these kind of all came together. I actually still have this sealed, but we got the Dot Hack GU Last Free Code Switch Edition. Um, I actually own this game on Steam, and just recently I also picked it up off the PlayStation Store. So I bought this game 3 times. Um, when I got this, oh, it's a little bit tore open, but it's just plastic. I will be opening it at some point. When I bought this, it was a special, they call it a collector's editions, but really, all that happened was this came taped together in a box. So, Bandai was a little bit I was a little bit disappointed with how that shipped, but came with the like a manga for Dot Hack GU Begins, exclusive like manga that came with that game. And we got the Dot Hack GU soundtrack. Has 15 soundtracks. Well, tracks, I should say. Jewel case is kind of cheaply, and it doesn't come with like a booklet or anything. But yeah. Then we got the bigger things. I'm not gonna take these out, but we got all the PlayStation 2, well, all the first series of games. We got .hack Infection, .hack Mutation, .hack Outbreak, and the the holy grail of them all, .hack Quarantine. So yeah, all this like kind of .hack excitement that I have going on for this next game. I've never actually played through and beaten any of the games. Well, in the original series, I played through to the third game, but I never fully completed. I count all of these as one game, kind of, because that's the way the story narrative is. When you go from disc 1 to disc 2, or game 1 to game 2, it continues the story directly. So it's kind of one big game under 4 games. So I do need to complete that at some point, and I don't know. Maybe I'll start it up on the channel and see how it goes. I don't know. I haven't played a lot of games on the channel. But with that, let's kind of get into why I'm here, why I'm trying to tell you guys news and stuff, even though I'm not really a gaming news channel. So, behind me, behind my webcam, we have the trailer for z.e.r.o. It's a teaser trailer. Something to know. I have already watched this several times because I spent all day yesterday being excited and giddy and just getting it all out of my system. But yeah, so some things to note. This is a teaser trailer. I believe I heard somewhere that it's more of a, like, I'm not sure if how far along they have developed, but I believe the stuff in this trailer is kind of more concept based and such. So it's just a CGI or animated trailer. There's going to be no gameplay footage or anything like that, so... But I will say the character designs are interesting, so let's kind of hop into this. Just to kind of get it sort of... Like, I'm sure by this point, some people were guessing this was going to be .hack by just looking at through the forums and stuff and the whole block. Now, by this point, people were sure that this was a .hack game. You notice that all the characters kind of reminisce from a previous character from the original series. Like, you have the kite. Where's a good one on Black Rose? So you got Black Rose and Velma, or what's his name? I'm not really sure. The little girl there is Aura, which is this girl. You have the kind of kite-looking character struggling with, like, receiving the data drain power, which is kind of big thing with the dot hack games. And yeah, that was the trailer, pretty much. Now, we have a little bit of info here at the end here, how we do know the project of the game itself is called Project Dusk. Um, Now that personally, it doesn't mean much to me. I think so. Fans have like really tore apart like some of the words um, in this ending credit area of the trailer to have their own theories and such. So you have down here, this world is at dusk, it matches with us so well. Then underneath it, you have a bunch of different words in a different language. Not really sure what language off the top of my head. Um, but yeah, there's not much more information from the trailer. I will, other than the fact, now, actually, let's go back towards the end. Like, is it gonna actually show it? Yeah, dot hack z.e.r.o. There was a light novel a really long, I say really long time ago, but back when dot hack was really relevant in such an anime scene and manga, there was a light novel called dot hack z.e.r.o, but this has nothing to do with it. So, one of the interesting things to point out is the fact that the letters in zero is separated with dots. So, could this be another planned series of games? Or, at the very least, episodes of a game? Like, they might go the episodic route. Now, they might not release, say, 4 different games, but they might make 4 different episodes to connect to one game. I don't know how they will go about it, but it's something I would personally be fine with, though we will have to see. Let's just go through, and some of the animation of just this trailer alone, it would make me excited to see another anime series come to kind of tie in with this game. Maybe not directly, but maybe just like an anime adaptation of some sorts. Because this looks a lot more energetic than, say, something from Dot Hack Sign or something like that. The energy is in this animation. That I can say. Just something about the way these games played. It was something that hit me kind of when I was playing through the original PlayStation 2 game. And I didn't pick it up till a little later, like about 10 or 15 years ago, pretty much. But, yeah, because half of the game's, like, spent in I found it fascinating just to have a game try to mimic an online MMO, but be a single-player game. And the whole mix of trying to solve a mystery which is pretty much would be underneath the code of a game, that seemed very kind of sci-fi interesting to me, and it's what kind of tied me to liking the series. We are kind of here at a point where there was an interview in January in Famitsu, which is like a Japan magazine. So some fans have translated that interview to kind of get some kind of more insight into what .hack z.e.r.o could be. So I'll try to just briefly kind of go through this. Lost Energy, a .hack series. z.e.r.o is set 10 years in the future. Let's see, where does the interview actually begin? Okay. Finally, information about a brand new entry in the .hack series has been revealed. And yes, they were finally able to announce the title that fans around the world have been eagerly awaiting. And this is probably going to end up being a little longer video than what I planned, but I remember because I was there also hoping for a new .hack game, but I was there about a year or two ago when people were digging up rumors about a countdown on a website of some sorts that looked to be tied to the .hack series, but nothing ended up ever coming of it from what I remember hearing about. So then of course you had your usual kind of thing where I think the .hack trademark was renewed or something, and people were getting excited about that, and it was just a bunch of rinse and repeat rumors to build up excitement to something that just always never came. So that is probably why this announcement hit harder than anything else. But so first and foremost, I want to express my overwhelming gratitude to Bandai Namco Entertainment. While industry insiders might not fully grasp the significance of this announcement, what's happening here is truly unprecedented. I'm sure I said that wrong, but oh well. And then the interview asked, what do you mean? This brand new title, .hack z.e.r.o, is a self-funded, self-developed, and self-published title by CyberConnect 2. Bandai Namco Entertainment, who holds the IP rights, kindly granted us permission. While their name will appear in the copyright, we are the primary entity responsible for its operation and management. This is an extremely rare arrangement, virtually unheard of in standard licensing business. Also keep in mind this was fan translated, so it might not be exactly as was said word for word. It's basically this is 100% on CyberConnect 2. And apparently that being so, they don't really have a deadline or schedule they need to follow. So they kind of get to develop the game at their own pace. So, I guess part of the theory, so CyberConnect 2 have mentioned over the years how they want to do a new .hack game, but it was always not on Bandai Namco's radar. So it just never came to be. But I assume, because CyberConnect 2 is the one that developed basically like all the Naruto, all Ninja Storm games and everything. They did a lot of things for Bandai, and I'm guessing that let's see here. Um, it wouldn't normally happen. The options are usually either buying the rights or developing it with the other party's budget. But we feel a deep sense of gratitude towards the Bandai Namco Group for nurturing us over the past 30 years since the old Bandai days. It's precisely because of the trust we built since they invested in us 10 powerless young people for Tale Concerto. I actually do have that game, surprisingly, but let's continue. That we've been able to achieve this arrangement. The time with z.e.r.o, we also see is our way of repaying the debt to the Bandai Namco Group. I think that they built up just enough trust that Bandai just kind of shrugged their shoulders and was like, fine, we'll finally let you do this, or something along them lines. I don't know, but yeah. So choosing .hack as the banner for your self-publishing challenge carries special meaning for you. Within the company, there were opinions like, if it's a completely new work, why not just release it as an original RPG? However, that would only create a work reminiscent of .hack, not .hack itself. We wanted to complete openly and fairly under the name of .hack, our flagship title, driven solely by the desire we engaged in discussions for 10 years. Now, on this auspicious occasion of the 30th anniversary, we've finally been able to release the latest installment in this form. When they say 30th anniversary, it's the 30th anniversary of the company. But basically, yes. They're saying pretty much this game has been in the works, or at least discussed, for like 10 years. So they've been wanting to do this for a long time now. So let's see. By the way, what was the production structure for the previous .hack series titles? Previously, Bandai Namco producer would be in charge. We would discuss and decide on the board direction together. Of course, we would propose ideas like, we want to do this, but ultimately they were the ones funding the project. Bandai Namco held the final decision, making authority on what kind of work it would become. Naturally, with limited budgets and schedules, we can't include everything. That forces us to make tough choices about what to cut. For example, in .hack, there were two worlds, the real world and the game world. Until now, budget constraints made it difficult to depict both equally. We basically advanced the story within the game world, limiting real world depictions to emails and web browsers. That was that honestly was one of the more interesting parts to me in the original game. Like, I enjoyed that. So I'm interested to see where they take this next generation .hack game. Let's see, what else? That was a rational decision to clarify what kind of game it is, then maximize production efficiency with limited resources. Also for the media mix, like Bandai Visual creating anime through Bandai Namco's channels, and manga being developed through I'm going to butcher that, but Kadokawa's channels. We managed the production teams, but the major decisions were made by the publishers. The production leadership was entirely in Bandai Namco's hands. However, with this new title, those reins are gone. What happens when CyberConnect 2 creates something based solely on our own ideas, without the constraints that's what we want to show you? So basically they begin to start talking about how they want to implement more of a gameplay to around the real world instead of always being inside the game world or tied to a message board. They want to do something more to equal out the two worlds. They mention here basically just to show the drama of the real people in the real world. But yeah, it does kind of keep going on. I'm probably gonna cut it off about here since I have been talking for a little bit, and this I could probably easily just turn this into an hour video, but let's go with this. What thoughts went into the title .hack z.e.r.o? First, to avoid any misunderstanding, I want to clarify that this is completely separate from Michiko's Yokte's novel .hack z.e.r.o, published by Kodokawa 20 years ago. That's why the title this time has dots placed between each letter, z.e.r.o. You can still read it as zero. On the surface, it carries a message. We are restarting .hack from zero. Furthermore, the arrangement of each individual letter and placement of the dots concealed a crucial mechanism central to the work's foundation. I hope readers will discover this for themselves within the actual story. So yeah, again, this was fan translated, so it might not be exactly what it is, but I think at that point, there's really no release date, it's just wait till we have something, an update ready to share with you guys. And that is basically where we stand with this game. There'll be plenty of fan theories you'll be able to see on YouTube, probably already, but I will link this interview and the trailer in the description. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys are excited as I am for this game. Um, Tell me about your dot hack obsession in the comments. So yeah, talk to you guys later.